Whoa!
Yeah?
Will you marry me?
What's up, guys? So many people, they expect kind of a romantic proposal, you know, and when you think about a romantic proposal, you think of that prince on a white horse going on his knees for his lover. In our situation, it went a little bit different. I mean, it was still romantic, but different. It happened some time ago when I was finding a way to renew my visa for Korea. Apparently I was out of options, and you know, that would mean going back to the Netherlands. End of the story. But then Korea asked me, like, why don't we marry? So what? I was shocked for a few seconds and I said, yes, why not? I mean, there's no reason for us not to do it. You know, I love Korea. I want to be with her anyway. So it happened like that. If you ask our friends, how would Bart and Korea propose? I think many of them would say they would do it in their way, like that. So here we go. That same day I had to go to work and I didn't really realize that, like, what just happened? I knew that I would meet Korea again that same evening in our favorite sushi restaurant. I remember like it was yesterday. Korea was already sitting there. I came a little bit late and I looked into her eyes and we were both thinking the same. We were thinking about that morning and we asked each other at the same time, did we really promise each other to marry? I said, yes, I think so. Like, do we still want to do it? And we both said yes. So we did official pinky promise. So suddenly we were engaged. What?
Now forever is a long time and I must spend my whole life trying to make it smile.
This is where the real work starts. I'm in Korea. It's just different here. I needed to get permission from her parents, and usually I'm quite confident. The thought of officially asking her parents to marry their daughter, that was making me quite nervous. I was thinking, how the hell can I convince them? I guess the challenge is even harder when you are a foreigner. That's what I thought. So I had to think about, what was the right way to ask and the right timing to ask. It must be a situation in which we are both quite comfortable, and because of the language barrier, that's not always the case. I speak Korean, I speak English, I'm actually Dutch, and you try to communicate with hands, with feet. A few days after we got engaged, I would go to Korea's graduation together with the parents. I thought that was the perfect opportunity to, ask their permission. So strategy time. I decided to buy flowers for her parents with a small letter in which I asked them, to marry their daughter. Now this might sound stupid or easy, but it wasn't for me. For me it had some meaning. I bought a really small, like a pretty letter, and I wrote in my own words a small story in which I asked them permission. For this story I didn't use Papago or any translation application because I wanted to be more personal so they could feel I put some effort in it. This is the first time I revealed to anyone else what I wrote down in the letter. I hope I don't scare you away with what I'm going to read right now. 휘야위 부모님 안녕하세요. 오늘 좋은 축하한 날입니다. 휘야는 홍익대학생 끝났어요. 부모님은 저는 휘야랑 결혼하면 괜찮습니까? 생각했으면 우리 같이 맛있는 식사 먹을 거예요. 그리고 좋은 이야기 하겠습니다. 지금 같이 정말 감사해요. So strategy being made, I woke up early to go to the flower shop because I made a reservation for the flowers. In all the rush and nervousness, I forgot to buy flowers for Korea's graduation. So while trying to make a good impression, I was actually not making the best impression. So last minute, I bought a small, pre-made bouquet. It was way smaller than the bouquet I bought for the parents.
이거 부모님에게 그거고요.
이거 나에게?
네.
땡.
이거 편지
발트?
편지 있어요.
발트? 선물?
네.
오케이.
아니 피아 선물 아니고
귀하도. 네네네네.
So I head off to Hogik University where I expected the parents to read the letter immediately, but they didn't. And that made me even more nervous. They wanted to read the letter at home. So they accepted the flowers, but they didn't read the letter. After the graduation, we had lunch nearby the university, and there again, I totally forgot about the so-called expected interview that the father would pull me through. He asked me questions about my job, about my future, my ambitions, how I would take care of the family. It was can I call it some kind of a test, I think? Yeah, it was some kind of test. And I remember Huya warned me for it, but I told you I was so rushed and occupied by asking them permission that I totally forgot about this. I thought it was just a lunch. Fortunately, I had an appointment that afternoon, so I could excuse myself from lunch a little bit earlier than the others. Because Huia's parents are good Christians, I promised them to meet them again a few days later on Sunday in church to continue the conversation we couldn't finish during lunchtime. So it was like kind of intentionally to leave a good impression. And not much later, I got a phone call from Huia already. And she said, Bart, they already read your letter. It was quite a relief to receive the phone call because at that time I was preparing my script for the show Iche Manado Kamnida. That was the shooting day and I was super nervous for that. So the good news made me feel much better. So as promised, I went to the church to meet Huia's parents, and the moment I entered, the mother gave me a letter. Because I didn't understand everything, I had to read it together with Huia. So Huia was reading it for me in Korean, and after that she was translating it. You know, already after reading the first sentence, she became emotional.
무엇보다 같이 있는 사람을 참 행복하고 편안하게 해주는 아이지. 짜증나. 지혜롭고 똑똑한 희아가 결혼하겠다고 하니 잘 결정했겠지. 희아 사랑해줘서 고마워. 우리는 너희들의 결혼을 허락하고 축복해. 잘 자고 내일 만나. From 희아 엄마.
That moment I realized, okay, this is the official permission. They allow us to marry. And that time I realized how big of a deal it can be for parents to give their daughter away. And you know, the extra steps to make the engagement official are both worth it for the parents and for me as well. You know, it gives a certain feeling of certainty and also of closure. Because yeah, you have to realize that it's not a small thing, it's a promise for life that you have to take quite seriously. So we got engaged in our own way, in our own style, but we made it officially through the traditional way, and that just felt good. And it was also like a threshold for me to become a real member of the Kim family. That's also one of the bigger differences with here in Korea and in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, you get absorbed into the family quite fast, you know, already after a first date. It's okay to meet the parents, the sisters, and to join, I don't know, come at birthdays, and so on and so on. But here in Korea, it takes a little bit more time. But then you got engaged and you get married and they give you permission. And yeah, you're just really part of the family. And it felt good. I felt welcome. I felt already being loved. And I really appreciate that they do that. And you know, for them it must be hard and not easy because I'm a foreigner. But not to forget, I'm still Dutch, so I will go on my knees to ask Huia to marry me. But when, I will tell you another time. For now, thank you for watching. Adios. And don't forget to like and subscribe, which I haven't said for a long time. Okay, bye.
Don't hide the tears, 'cause I know you're breaking. All this love and all this pain you've given